Closed-circuit television can be found everywhere, in almost any public space over Europe. But when London was facing a series of terror attacks in 2005, this fired the starting pistol. In comparison to the rest of Europe, surveillance seems to be accepted, almost required to ensure security. To find out more about this obsession on safety, I packed my bags and made a move.
I think one of the main reasons is that we live in a state where we have a pretty benign government, and we have so for hundreds of years. We've never really had to justify our existence to anyone and our movements to people. So the majority of people say to us, you know, if we've got nothing to hide, you've got nothing to fear. But that's because we live in a state where nobody has used information about us and our whereabouts for kind of negative purposes and to have a negative impact on our freedom of speech and our freedom of movement and things like that. So I think that's one of the reasons why people are so passive to any form of surveillance in the UK.
Arriving at the airport, the big brother was already waiting. From that moment on, and for the rest of my trip, he never left me unguarded. Whether in the shape of a dome or as a normal camera, he matches into the environment almost naturally. A Londoner was filmed about 300 times a day back in 2008, a number that still increased dramatically ever since. Today, about 20% of the world's cameras are located in Britain, which holds only 1% of its population. How far this need for security reaches today, Emma Carr, Deputy Director of the protest group Big Brother Watch tells.
We were set up to tackle civil liberty and privacy issues and any form of policy that has an impact on our civil liberties and privacy. And CCTV was one of the big things that were concerning people in the UK. So in the UK we have something called Crime Stoppers, which is a television programme that goes out across the country, and they use CCTV images as an appeal to try and catch criminals. So one of the really interesting things about the images is that they're really bad quality. So it looks like the same 4 people have committed every crime in the UK, which clearly isn't true. But this also kind of helps perpetuate the myth of just how effective CCTV is at catching criminals, because they only really put up the CCTV cameras. They don't show all the other kind of investigation that's going on by the police and the other intelligence that they have.
Monitoring primary students in the school's changing rooms, however, takes this argumentation to absurdity.
It just seems a little bit unnecessary and disproportionate to the crimes that we're actually talking about, if you can call, bullying and smoking and things crimes. And there is evidence to show with any form of CCTV, if you want to commit a crime or antisocial behaviour and things like that, the CCTV just moves people into areas where there isn't any CCTV. So they put more CCTV there.
What happens to the material after? Nobody can tell. In London, I never felt unsafe. If this was because of CCTV, I cannot tell.
I think there's certainly some evidence to suggest that when people are being watched and they know they're being watched, they'll adjust their their movements and their actions to reflect that. But one of the really important things to recognise with CCTV is that there's absolutely no evidence anywhere in the world to show that it actually prevents crimes from happening in the first place. And this is what CCTV is supposed to do. It's supposed to be a crime prevention tool. And now they're saying, oh, well, actually, it's a detection tool. It's to help us catch people. So one of our arguments is, it costs millions of pounds to have very high-tech, very big systems of CCTV across the country. Why aren't we spending those millions of pounds actually putting more police officers on the street and stopping the crimes from happening in the first place, rather than having an over-reliance on CCTV as a crime detection tool, not a prevention tool?